interesting. Very many points, which is very good education for us in chanting the holy name. Now, we are on, as far as I could make out, I didn't leave a bookmark, but I managed to, we're at the end of chapter 2.
Namabas, is it? Are we on the Namabas?
Yeah, well, that was a Namabas was spoken of to some degree, but it's going to be elaborated upon in chapter 3. So just an introduction was given. And I seem to remember last week we spoke about tattva or vyavadana. It sounds like a mysterious. It sounds like a mysterious word at the moment. By the time we finish today, we will understand what that actually is. And so we all ready? Let's offer some pranams to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachaline Nivasesha Sunyavari Pashtatara Satarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Katara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Chai. Okay, so we are reading. You can see my screen, right, I presume?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are beginning here, unless anyone has any other ideas where we left off, but I'm quite sure we left off from here.
Yeah.
Yes. So now, again, I've been doing my own study on this, so I'll be sharing some notes I've made. Interesting study. Okay, so Mother Chandravali, she's got a hand raised to read.
Nobody else has put it.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You can begin the churning of the nectar of ocean of Krishna Katha.
Okay. Vyavadan or disruption causes offense. Chanting should be free from any form of disruption because this will result in offenses against the holy name, which in turn pose an insurmountable obstacle on the path to success. Vyavadan or disruption is of two kinds. The first type is known as Varna Vyavadan or disruption in the syllables. For example, in Bengali word Hatikari, the first syllable ha and the last syllable ri can be put together to give Hari, a name of Krishna. But because the syllables he, ka are inserted in the middle, the repetition of Hatikari will not give the actual benefit of chanting the holy name. That is Krishna. Yet the Islamic word haram is not perverted by such disruption of the syllables of Varna Vyavadan. In the words haram, the syllable comprising the holy name Ram are uninterrupted. Hence, speaking haram gives liberation because it is Namabas. The second type of Vyavadan is called Tattva Vyavadan, or disruption in the philosophy or conclusion. This is a very heinous offense. Lord Krishna's name and Lord Krishna himself are non-different. But someone who is polluted by the Mayavadi philosophy imagines them as two dissimilar entities. Such offensive conclusion will totally destroy his spiritual life. It is clearly against the Vedic teachings. It is impossible to obtain Krishna Prem from such chanting. The devotee who chants Krishna's name purely, free from both the Vyavadan offenses, is to be considered a very elevated Vaishnava. He must be worshipped with great care and affection.
Okay, perhaps we'll just pause there. You can continue reading, but we'll just pause there. Can everyone think of any words? One example was given of a word here of Hatikari. Can anyone ever think of any other words which contain the syllables of Hari? Hari. I'll give you one time we was on traveling Sankirtan, and we was looking for a laundrette, and we saw a sign said Harry's Laundrette. So we went for that laundrette. So Hari. So, but it was, there's an English name, Harry, isn't it? Harry.
Harry.
But it happens to be the same syllables as Hare Krishna. Hari, isn't it? So what does it mean for someone who's called Harry? Are they fortunate?
What about Ramadan? It has Rama in it.
Ramadan.
Ramadan.
Yeah. Ramadan. Yeah, that's interesting. Ramadan. But to the first question, if someone is called Harry, that's good or bad?
Good.
Yeah, thank you. It's good. Because unknowingly, they're actually chanting the holy name of the Lord. And interesting, another guy brought up Ramadan. Rama. What is it? Ramadan. Like it's a month, is it? It's a month when they fast and eat when the sun sets or something. Ramadan. So these will have to affect well, that effect will be described now. To what effect? Or I could ask, will someone obtain love of God by chanting Ramadan or Hari or Harry Potter?
Could they just get a bit of piety?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Namabas.
Yeah, thank you. Everyone agrees with that. Yeah, it's Namabas. Will they get love of God here? It seems like no. They become very pious because there's something is missing which we read, and that will be spoken of later as well.
Otherwise, if you chant Prince Harry, you're not going to get anywhere.
If you chant Prince Harry,
yeah,
yeah,
not gonna,
yeah. What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean by not getting anywhere? You mean by not getting to Prima?
Not going to connect with Krishna. So why would anyone who chants Prince Harry's name be connecting with Krishna in a direct way? It's only like, by accident. So Krishna will not appear in the heart of someone who's chanting Hari when they mean somebody else, not Krishna.
Anyone could respond to that?
No, actually it's not true, because even if somebody pronounces the name unconsciously by mistake or even whatever state, it purifies, because the name has the power itself. It doesn't matter. Of course, if you're in a good condition with right intentions, this is the best, that's perfect. But even devotees, not every time they pronounce the name with pure conscious and pure intent, pure intentions. But it doesn't matter actually. It matters the name. The name weights. It has the weight. The name.
Yes, thank you very much, Mother Jambavati. Did you understand that?
Yeah, I mean, it has the potency, the name, however you pronounce it. But when someone who wants to connect with Krishna chants it, it's a different result than
that's
somebody
correct.
who
it's a different
doesn't know the chanting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same.
Yeah, it's a different result, but there is a result.
Yeah.
And that we speak that we'll come to today. And I guess this example comes up a lot. I think we spoke of it yesterday or in one of our classes, and you probably heard me say this question before. What is the example in the Srimad Bhagavatam?
Ajamal.
Ajami.
Yeah. and he was chanting. He wasn't calling out his son. He wasn't calling out Krishna, excuse me. He was calling for his son, who was named Narayan. Yeah, but the effect or the effect won't be a different result, but there will be a result. And can someone tell us about there's two aspects of Vyavadana that we just read. One was called disruption, where there's a gap between the syllables, as in hati, kari. And the other one, another aspect of Vyavadana.
Satattva Vyavadan.
Yeah, you could explain, Abhiraj Kishore?
Well, with the philosophy, that name, a Mayavadi will not think there is a form. But
yeah,
so
basically.
they just call out without understanding that there is a form.
Yeah.
And they will not get 100% result of calling out the names.
Yeah, it's called also a disruption of a philosophy of a tattva. Yeah, so the result, the full result, a result will be there, but not the full result. All right. Very good. Well done. We understood that nicely. Very good. So you can continue reading, Mother Chandravali.
Okay. When anartha is destroyed, the pure name appears.
I've just lost a page. Let me
But that's
okay, no, so you're just reading the title. Carry on. Carry on.
Anyone wanting to attain the highest spiritual success of chanting purely must approach a bona fide spiritual master and serve him sincerely and with care. Gradually, as all the anarthas or unwanted desires in the heart are destroyed, the transcendental name of Krishna appears and dances on the tongue of the devotee. The devotee must relish the holy name, now nectarine in state, at every moment. Thus, spiritually intoxicated, the devotee always feels like dancing. As the holy name dances, the devotee likewise dances, and at that moment, the ecstasy of love of Godhead also enters dancing into devotee's heart. The entire world falls at his feet, and Maya runs away.
Right.
Can we read any more? The next title is
just read. Okay.
Title is The Holy Name is Omnipotent.
Okay, you can read this next paragraph.
The Supreme Lord invested all his potency in his transcendental name and offered it to the living entities. One who has sufficient faith in the holy name is eligible to chant it. One who chants Lord Krishna's name is properly executing his prescribed duties. The holy name is so potent that chanting is not dependent on the condition of time, place, rules, cleanliness, etc. Pious activities like giving charity, performing sacrifice and ablutions, and chanting of Vedic mantras are all regulated by stringent rules, but the only prerequisite for chanting the holy name is faith. One who takes shelter of the holy name with unflinching faith will attain all perfections. The jiva is Kali Yuga. The jiva in Kali Yuga must become free from deceit, enroll himself as a member in Lord Krishna's family of devotees, and continuously chant the holy name.
Might as well just finish this chapter. There's just 2 paragraphs left.
Okay, the next, accept things favorable to chanting. One must accept everything favorable to performing devotional service and at the same time reject all unfavorable things. He must seek out the association of devotees and utilize his life in constant chanting and remembering of the Lord's holy name. He must forego all other religious practices and pious activities and never worship any other person. Now, nor may he think others to be independent from the Supreme Lord. One who always chants the holy name and serves the devotees will surely obtain love for Lord Krishna. Srila Haridas Thakur again placed his head on the Lord's lotus feet. Weeping, he begged the Lord that he must develop attachment for the holy name. One who's blessed with love and devotion and take pleasure in serving Srila Haridas Thakur's lotus feet will find this book, Harinam Chintamani, as valuable as life itself.
Okay, so that finishes chapter 2.
Chandramouli Maharaj has got the deity of Haridas Thakur.
Yeah, it's quite quite popular actually. Quite a few devotees I know.
Really?
Really, that's Thakur, little wooden nice deity on their altar. Yeah, thank you. So what's one of the what is one of the things that's required then?
Faith.
Faith, very important. Yeah, faith. So as opposed to those, although there's an effect for those who don't have faith, the real effect of love of Godhead in chanting has to be accompanied with faith. And that will be explained in the next chapter as well. Means some banda know about the science of devotion, have faith in that. I was thinking also, it mentioned first of all that if one wants to attain the highest spiritual success and chant purely, they have to approach a
bona fide spiritual master.
Spiritual master.
bona fide spiritual master, and he will give you blessings. He gives you the name. What's the difference, can we say, if, when we come in, we introduce people quite quickly to the chanting of the holy name, isn't it? We get them to chant 1 round, 2 rounds, something. But then when we get initiated, we get given the holy name.
Connecting to the parampara.
Yeah, can you explain a bit more, Nitai Mata? What's actually happening there that wasn't happening before?
Only bona fide spiritual master is connected to the parampara. So that is why we have to accept a spiritual master who is connected to the parampara.
Yeah, but what's the difference? I mean, why? I mean, we've already got these and we already chant Hare Krishna. So why do we then take, when we take Diksha, why do we get another set of beads?
Is the connection established?
Yes, because it's always coming from the, Brahma, all that parampara, and like full parampara. So
Yeah,
Could we say
Sahachari mentioned that. Can you say that again, Mother Sahachari?
The connection is established?
Yeah. What do you mean? Can you go further? What do you mean the connection is established? What's actually?
I'm not good with words.
Is it that we chant independently, like on our own, and when we given, then we depending, on the spiritual master?
Basically, you're answering correct. Basically, you're getting blessings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there is. I mean, your answers is. I mean, it's all correct. I was just trying to bring it out as such. Yeah, there's a connection there. And also to take Diksha, you have to take certain vows as well. Although you may be practicing before. Well, we should have been practicing the vows beforehand. But all this goes to, although it's not dependent. Interesting. What again, let's just what
I also read somewhere that the cyclic succession, when you join, it's like a rope from any direction. If you hold on to the rope, you'll be rescued.
That's it, yeah. If we hold on to the rope. So I'm asking lots of questions today, but what is that? That rope is what's the word? It's a what is it exactly?
The holy name?
Yeah, rope, but it's following the instructions that's given by the spiritual master. Yeah, so the rope of the instructions of the guru to actually chant the holy name. And if we hold on, then we get rescued. But if we let go, then we won't get rescued. I was listening to a conversation with Prabhupada this morning. He was mentioning that point, that, yeah, I can give somebody, but if my disciples are not following, then what can I do? I am giving the opportunity. So it also mentioned that chanting is not dependent on certain conditions. So it's not dependent on what conditions did it mention? One is time. You can chant any time.
Rules, cleanliness.
Yeah.
You can chant anywhere.
Yeah. So why are we then advised? What's the best time to chant?
Brahma Muhurta.
Brahma Muhurta. Where's the best place to chant?
In front of Tulsi.
Yeah. And we've got how many offenses should we avoid?
10.
10.
Yeah. And will it help us if we're clean when we're chanting?
Yes.
Yes.
So what does it mean then? Where it's not dependent on the holy name is not. You said it's not dependent on the time. You can chant 11 o'clock at night if you want. You can chant in a pub.
That's the mode. It's modes. Modes playing the role there.
Which then will affect.
Goodness, mode of ignorance, and passion. All
Yeah.
come into in the morning is goodness, then passion, and then ignorance. So the modes, material nature, start to play a role. That's why it is like that.
Yeah, so you could say who is dependent on the conditions, us or the name?
We.
Yeah, we are. Because if you're very highly elevated,
Anytime is okay.
then you'll always be chanting Sudanam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But actually, the holy name itself is not dependent upon material, time, place.
Hmm.
It is self-sufficient in of itself. But the next chapter, let's go into the next chapter. The next chapter will elaborate on this even more. This is called Namabas, or the Unclarified Name. So, Mother Radkishore, you like to read? Take us into chapter 3.
Okay. Namabas, or the Unclarified Name. All glories to Sri Gadadhar Pandit and Lord Sri Gauranga. All glories to Lord Nityananda, the life of Srimati Jahanav Devi. All glories to Sri Advait Acharya and Mother Sita. All glories to Srila Srivas Pandit and to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. A cloud of anartha, the mist of ignorance. The merciful Lord Chaitanya stretched out his lotus-like hands and lifted up Srila Haridas. The Lord said, "O Haridas, please take hold of yourself. Explain clearly to me about Namabhas." Once anyone understands Namabhas, he then strives towards chanting the pure name. The holy name is potent and endowed with such transcendental qualities that anyone can easily achieve liberation simply by chanting. Lord Krishna is the omnipotent spiritual sun, and he and his name are identical. Thus, the holy name is like the all-powerful, brilliant sun that disperses the darkness of Maya or naisance. To stream mercy upon the conditioned souls, the sun of the holy name has arisen on the horizons of this material world. But sometimes clouds and mist obscure one's vision, and then the sun is not visible. The jiva is covered over by the cloud of anartha and mist of ignorance. The cloud and mist spread the blanket over the jiva's vision so that he is unable to see the sun-like holy name. The sun is too big for any cloud or mist to cover, but if the jiva's vision is obfuscated, then the sun is hidden from him.
Perhaps you just pause there. So, who's at fault? Us or the name?
Us.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did this, probably can't see. I was going to show this picture here. You got the sun, you see? Sun here. The rays, and you've got the jiva. It's like he is covered. Just like this. It's a nice example, isn't it? Because the sun can never be covered by a cloud. Yeah. But from our perspective, from our relative perspective, the cloud seems to cover the sun. But in actuality, the sun is much too vast and much too big and can never be. But we are very small. We are little jivas. Wake up, little jiva, you know, little jivas. So we have a tendency to cover ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. What do we cover ourselves with? Okay, I've got to place Space Invaders. Got to mute someone. What do we cover ourselves with?
Intelligence.
No, the opposite.
Maya?
Yeah, ignorance.
Huh?
Yeah, mentioned here. Where was it? By the cloud of, also the jiva is covered over by two things actually. Anarthas.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, other way.
Ignorance.
Anarthas, and the mist of ignorance. Yeah. So these anarthas will be spoken of next as well. Yeah. So it's by removing these things and chanting the name that we can develop love and affection for Krishna in the form of his name. Yeah. So yeah. Any other questions or reflections on this? Yeah. So like just like today, I've had to close the curtains because there's a bright. If I open the curtains, you see, bright sun.
Sunshine.
You know, sunshine's coming, but you know, so the holy name's like the sun. But if I'm not trying to remove anarthas and I'm not following the process, then what's happening? I am
Oh, Hare Krishna.
covering myself. Yeah, I'm covering myself so I can't get the son of the holy name. That's why there's 10 offenses to the holy name. So we can, you know, get full advantage of the son of the holy name. Yeah. Sorry, Nitai Mata?
I just remember 2 days we didn't have darshan, Prabhu. Sorry. That's
I know we're getting tired with the system there, aren't we?
Really? You should let me know, because I don't know, because I get darshan live.
2 days we didn't get.
Okay, I will flag that up with our techniques in the temple. Thank you. Flag that up.
Also, the sound is also really bad all the time on the class. It's always got
Really?
funny sound. I always find the sound
Oh,
not good.
That's not good. You should be able to get good sound and good.
Yeah,
No darshan.
I don't know if anyone else finds the sound like.
Yeah, you can always, because I'm always in the class, although I wasn't there this morning. I'm doing this strange course which starts at 2:30 in the morning and finishes at 6 o'clock. So, but what you can do, you could send me a text message. I don't mind. Send me a text message, and I might be there in class or just before. We can't hear, we can't see, we can't hear. And then
sometimes they don't change the camera. It's just 7 o'clock. You really want to take darshan, and
I know.
Yeah.
it's so annoying. It's so annoying, you know.
But that's like it's interesting. It reminded you. We're speaking about covering and being, you know, covered over. So so your darshan is being covered by, you could say, by the lack of professionalism in the temple side of the technical side. So anartha. Okay, so we shall work on the anartha so you can get the full darshan of the Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, it's happening quite a bit lately. But even on Ramnami, I wanted to see the Abhishek, so half of it and then gone. I wanted to see Maharaj's class.
Yeah, even if I say, I mean, I can't guarantee, even if I tell them, I can't guarantee they might be able to fix it. Just there is something quite going wrong at the moment with all our technical issues in the temple, it seems. But anyway, let's get back on track. Yeah, but I have noted that. Yeah, taken a note. I'm gonna message the devotees. So, should we move on?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the
Okay.
next title is The Mist of Ignorance Creates Confusion. Perhaps you could read this as well, Mother Rajkisha.
Okay, the mist of ignorance creates confusion. Lack of knowledge of the transcendental nature An identity of the holy name creates a mist of ignorance, which plunges the jiva into darkness. One who is ignorant about Lord Krishna's supremacy over all else becomes confused and begins to worship demigods. Thus, he becomes entangled in the cycle of fruitive action of karma. That person who hasn't realized the jiva's transcendental nature is in the material consciousness and is deluded and always in ignorance. Srila Haridas Thakur claimed the exhilaration, "Oh, I am so fortunate today. Lord Chaitanya wants to hear about the holy name from me." One who is in ignorance does not know about either the spiritual nature of the holy name or Lord Krishna's supremacy over all. Factually, the demigods are Lord Krishna's servitors. The jiva's nature is transcendental, and Maya, illusion, is the nature of matter. Anyone who understands these truths is freed from the darkness of ignorance and attains enlightenment. Anatomy of the cloud of anartha, hankering for things temporary and unreal, weakness of the heart and mind, and the offenses produce a cloud of anarthas that keeps the jiva in constant suffering. Asat Trishna, thirsting for the illusory, indicates desires for things not related to Lord Krishna, or in other words, the craving for so-called material gains. Hridaya Durbalyam refers to the properties of the heart and mind that arise from the condition of spiritual weakness. And aparadha means offenses. These three anarthas are to be avoided, for they form a cloud that hides the sun of the holy name. The holy name is always perfect in itself, but Namabas obfuscates the jiva's vision of it.
So just read this one more paragraph. Then.
The extents of Namabas. As long as the jiva is not firmly established in the knowledge of Sabandh Tattva, or the correct understanding of the relationship between God, his energies, and the jiva, he will continue to chant in Namabhas stage. When jiva takes full shelter of the bona fide spiritual master, he becomes expert in executing devotional service under his guru's guidance. Then gradually the cloud and mist are dispersed.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Robert. So it seems like we have some work to do in a sense of becoming knowledgeable. Does anyone know what makes up Sambandha Gyan? There's 4 aspects of Sambandha Gyan. It's mentioned here, actually. It is mentioned. It's a bit of a...
It's the, Prabhu, can I say, I can say?
Yes, please, yeah.
It's like the presence and the concentration and engaging ourselves, engaging in the chanting.
Yeah, but you're kind of right. But we're looking for that. Sambandha Gyan, it consists of knowledge about Krishna, knowledge about the jiva, knowledge about the material world, and the interrelationships between God and the material world, the jiva and the material world, and the interrelationships. What's the relationship between Krishna and the jiva? What's the relationship between the jiva and the material world? What's the relationship between the jiva and the Supreme Lord? Yeah, these are the different constitutes of Sambandha Gyan. So, you know, we're doing quite a lot of study, isn't it? We're studying different books and we're really getting into the details of Krishna conscious philosophy. But all this is going to help us to chant with faith. Yeah.
But you know, this paragraph, okay, we read it, right? And how come we don't realize it? The way when you explained it, look, relationship between God, energy, jiva, you know, it's all like you said. But why can't we pick it up?
Well, because I've studied Sambandha because we did study in Sudha Bhakti Chintamani, so I remembered it, the different aspects of Sambandha Gyan. That's what it's meant. And I did a presentation recently. I had to do.
Right.
I was doing a class online, so I just happened to Sambandha Gyan.
Because it's there and we just can't pick it up.
Yeah. I've helped for you to see it and to identify it. So therefore, it's good to really understand that we are. What is the relationship between the Jiva and Krishna?
Eternally servant.
Yeah, eternally servant. Yeah. He is like the sun and we are like sparks. Yeah. Or we're like this. Yeah. And we have an intimate. Ultimately, there is a relationship between a Jiva and Krishna. We are not meant to be competitors. Like this word was used, asat trishna, thirsting for the illusory. Yeah. So it said, first of all, indicates desires for things not related to Krishna. But everything is related to Krishna, isn't it? But then Haridas Thakur, he elaborated a bit more. What was that? What is the elaboration that he has given on Asat Krishna? You read it there. I mean, I'm looking at it now.
Who wants to hear holy name from me?
Yeah, no, in other words, so everything's related to Krishna, so you shouldn't desire for things not related to Krishna, but everything is related to Krishna. But then he clarifies, it means you are craving for material gains from this world. Yeah. Again, I've mentioned this many times, it doesn't mean we shouldn't desire to eat or desire to have a house to give us shelter, but we are not like materialists where they're just trying to lord it over the material. So that will create a cloud. If someone is trying to do that to one degree or another, then the real sun of the holy name will not, well, it will be shining, but we'll be covering ourselves over. We'll be hiding under the blanket. Like I've closed the curtains here, we've closed the curtains. It hasn't stopped the sun shining. Yeah. And can anyone tell us what is spiritual weakness? Hridaya Durbalyam. He's quoting Bhagavad Gita here, where Krishna is accusing Arjuna of being weak-hearted. Says refers to propensities of the heart and mind that arise from a condition of spiritual weakness.
2.7.
Yeah, you know that, yeah? 2.7, Bhagavad Gita.
I think, yeah, what is the starting?
So, what does it mean if someone is spiritually weak?
Isn't it the same thing?
Sorry? The voice was a bit faded out there, whoever spoke. I think it's Mother Langa.
Okay, I'll say what I was going to say.
Kalpanya dosa bhata subhava.
Yes, yeah, that's the verse. I'm just trying to dig around a bit and let's try and understand what spiritual is.
It's that you haven't fully understood Krishna's instruction, or you're doing your own
own thing.
Yeah.
Good say. Yeah.
Confused.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. But I was thinking also as well, spiritual weakness is that one is unable to follow the basic. One is weak, so one is susceptible to falling prey to material desires. Yeah. So they may not consistently follow the principles. So you can see that has to be in place for us to really get the sound of the holy name. Yeah. And then there's aparad, that means offenses. There's a whole subject in of itself. So they should be isolated. You know, we should avoid them. So he mentions there's these three anarthas. Yeah. First thing, for craving for matter. We are supposed to crave for Krishna. So when we start craving for materialistic things, it doesn't go well with our spiritual practice. And we should be strong in our spiritual principles, and we should be doing our best to avoid offenses. There's 10 offenses that's given. Yeah.
Prabhu, I just wanted to mention something. Prabhu, is that okay?
Yes, please.
I think I'll just put a note here, maybe Chiti Shakti Mataji's class. She's saying spiritual weakness is like Krishna is checking our spiritual balance.
Yeah, you can elaborate more on that for us.
Prabhu, that is why I can't understand it fully. Krishna,
Difficult to answer, because I'm not sure the context of what she.
yeah, because it's saying on this one, Hidaya Durbalyam,
Yeah, Krita Durbalyam.
propensities of the heart and mind that arise from a condition of spiritual weakness. So she's saying Krishna, that is the time Krishna is checking our spiritual balance. I can't remember other than this.
Well, the context, I'm not sure the context, so I can't really answer, but I might guess that, yeah, we may be faced with the objects of the senses which we used to delight in before we took the Krishna consciousness. Or Krishna will reveal those desires in our heart, or those activities that we did. They may come from within again and into the mind's eye. So that's a test for us. Are you going to chant my name, or are you going to meditate on this? You know, so you could say Krishna's encouraging us by testing us. He's like pushing us forward, because we really have to. Krishna's waiting for us to say no to the things we used to enjoy. No. And he's going to help by giving his grace and mercy, but that grace and mercy has to manifest in our decision to turn away from the past, from our past things, or that we used to do before. Used to hear before, used to eat before, used to do whatever. So that's called spiritual life, and that's our quest. You know, we're learning to choose Krishna. Yeah. But if we can't do that, that means we're spiritually weak. That's Hridaya Dobhalyam. So we have to be spiritually strong, yeah, to uncover this blanket or this cloud. You know? Right. Should we read a bit more? Yes, let's read a bit more. Nitai Mata, you like to read? You can. We're on Sambandha, Abhidaya, and Prayojan. If you have this book.
Yes. Is that the one? Once the cloud.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Once the cloud and mist are dispelled, the sun of the holy name shines brilliantly once more and enlightens the devotee with love of Godhead. The bona fide spiritual master instructs the disciple in Sambandha. The chanting of the holy name is the indication of Abhidaya. It's the eternal relationship with Sambandha. The Guru encourages the disciple to take up Abhidaya for chanting. The sun of the holy name now shines stronger and evaporates the mist of anartha. Chanting at this stage becomes an indispensable need. Prayojana. Prayojana leads a devotee to love of Godhead. The jiva now experiences ecstasy in every moment of chanting. Can I continue, Prabhu?
Yeah, go read another this paragraph as well.
The Guru first instructs his disciple in Sambandha. This is to be exactingly explained, and the disciple must receive it with proper faith. What's
The
this?
quintessence. That is
Quintessence. In this knowledge is that Lord Krishna is eternally a supreme personality of Godhead. The jiva is his eternal servitor, and the Jiva's loving relationship with Lord Krishna is likewise eternal as an inherent trait of his nature. In contact with material nature, the Jiva forgets his eternal relationship and loiters aimlessly in this world of illusion, searching for bliss. The material world is a veritable prison house where the Jiva is penalized for turning his back on Krishna.
Prison house. There's my picture of a prison. Someone in prison.
It consists of the 14 planetary systems, which together are known as the Devi Dharma. These planetary systems are the cells within the prison where the recalcitrant jivas are confined. Devi Dharma is not a place for experiencing happiness and bliss. The so-called material pleasures offered to the jivas here are only temporary. The hence simply cause further suffering. But since punishments are remedies, the jivas are reformed through such punitive measures.
Punitive measures, yes.
I was just thinking about Prabhu, the the real prisons. If you do a mistake, you go to prison, but you are given a television, you are given food to eat, everything. It doesn't mean you are not in the prison.
Yeah, it's very interesting. That the example of a prison is quite apt, actually, because that is what the material world is, and that's what's being described here, Devidal.
Yeah.
But you can imagine how much. We can try and understand how much illusion the conditioned souls we are in to one degree or another. Can you imagine if someone's in prison and they're convinced that they're not in prison? They're convinced that this is the best place to be. The best place is to be, queuing up with a plastic plate, waiting to get some mushy peas. They're they have no desire. Can you imagine if they don't desire to get out of the prison? They're so, that's a. But anyway, let's just, we can speak on that more. But I just want to. We've got 10 minutes, and I want to get on to the reading about the positive aspects of Namabas. So you can just read the next 2 paragraphs, because it's quite interesting. By the mercy.
Okay. By the mercy of a Vaishnava, devotee of the Lord, if the imprisoned Jiva is once again instructed in the holy name and Sabdhajana, he will gradually become enlightened with the essence of all religious practices, namely pure love of Godhead. To this fortunate soul, Sayuji
Mukti,
or impersonal liberation is
reprehensible. Yeah.
Until he is solidly grounded in the Sambhajnana understanding, his chanting will be polluted by anarthas. This, then, is Namabas, when the jiva cannot chant the pure name of Krishna.
Okay, so that's Namabhasa. So that's what, again, Ajamil, that's what he chanted.
Yeah.
He chanted Namabas. So he didn't go back to Godhead straight away. Yeah. He had to increase his adhikar to Sudana. But still, here now we're going to hear about the benefits of Namabas. Yeah. Go on.
The result of Namabas. The Namabas stage is not to be underestimated, for it avails many positive benefits to the jiva and increases his piety. Verily, Namabas is one of the jiva's greatest virtues. It offers him more good fortune than religiosity, vows, yoga, sacrifices, and so on put together. Now, by chanting, all his sins are absolved. He is thus liberated from the effects of Kali Yuga. Instead, Kali becomes a well-wishing servitor of the jiva, providing security or
and equanimity.
equanimity. The miseries inflicted affected by demons, ghosts, hobgoblins, evil spirits, and malefic planetary influences are easily averted. Even if a jiva is destined for the hellish planets, he attains liberation. All his uh, prarabdha karma, sinful reaction of previous life activities that are taking effect now, is counteracted. Namabas is greater than the result of studying all the Vedas, of visiting every pilgrimage place, of performing every possible oh, altruistic and pious work. Oh, that is very much hope giving.
If you just read this last paragraph, and then we'll
The
stop.
four goals offered in the Vedas, religiosity, wealth, sense enjoyment, and liberation, are all available from Namabhasa chanting. It is endowed with unimaginable power that can reclaim any living entity. It bestows unlimited joy and elevates one, even the derelicts, to a very exalted stage of realization. Namabhasa offers internal residence in the spiritual abode of Vaikuntha, especially in Kali Yuga. This is stated in the scriptures.
Okay, so good news.
Very good news.
Namabas. So interesting, we're studying this. Whenever I would kind of speak on, I often speak on Namabas, means that if you're just trying to pay attention to the holy name, that's Namabas. You know, and we're not always successful, but we're making an effort. So we're not making a habit of being inattentive. But interesting is that there's more to Namabas than actually that. As we've just read, it means we should be not thirsting after temporary things, not making offenses. What else was it? We should have served the Guru with care and attention. We should take shelter. And we have to be in knowledge about Sambandha Gyan. Yeah. So Sambandha Gyan, that's what we get, or that's what you get from reading Srila Prabhupada's books. It's Sambandha Gyan. Well, everything's there, Sambandha, Abhidaya, and Prayojan. But so by studying, we get all them. So here we're hearing about Namabas. So even if it's not pure, if these things are in place and we're chanting with attention, that's cool, and it's not offensive, then in one sense it's glorious. Okay, it's not the goal. So you may have met devotees, or you may know devotees are really into astrology, perhaps too much. Nothing wrong with astrology in one sense. But some people won't step outside the door on Tuesday at 3 o'clock because the astrology is not good. They stay locked away until a certain planet comes around the corner, you know. But if you're just chanting the holy name, it says here, you can be free of influence of malefic planetary influences, of which there is lots in Kali Yuga. Yeah, the whole thing is malefic. That's why there's so much war and chaos going on throughout the world. And some people have I know a lot, it's quite thing. I've met quite a few Indian people in the past who come to me and complaining about being having ghosts set upon them by their neighbors or something like. You know, it's a big thing in India, isn't it? Where curses and demons and evil spirits and things like that, and apparently they're after someone and all these things. If we just take part in the Harinam Sankirtan, you can be free of all of that, all of the influences, of hobgoblins, inflicted by demons, ghosts, hobgoblins, evil spirits. And even if the jiva is hell-bound, if he chants Namabas. Now, the aspects of Namabas will be spoken of next. And it's a verse directly taken again from the 6th canto of Ajamul Kanda, which describe any comments or questions or any reflections? Yes.
Krishna Prabhu, I was just thinking, it says Namabas offers eternal residence in the spiritual abode of Vaikuntha.
Oh yeah, it says that.
The last line,
Yes,
especially in
Wow.
Kali, it is stated in the scriptures.
There you go. Namabhasa offers eternal residence in the spiritual abode of Vaikuntha. Well, that's interesting, especially in Kali Yuga. This is stated in scripture. Okay. Any complaints about that? You thought it was pure Nam, no? You thought it was Sudanam takes you to Vaikuntha.
But then, if we go to Vaikuntha, we have to come back here again to go.
No.
No?
Once you go to Vaikuntha, then there ain't no coming back. It's a one-way ticket. Yeah, a one-way ticket.
But we still have to progress to be able to go to Golok Vrindavan.
yeah.
If you're like Gopal Kumar, yeah, if that's your destination. But this is really interesting.
We can upgrade.
Upgrade, yeah.
So we can upgrade. Yeah,
So
we can upgrade.
take that opportunity, or would we say, no, I'm not going to go to Vaikuntha because I really want to go to Golok Vrindavan. So could we go to Vaikuntha and then go to Vrindavan from there? I mean, Golok Vrindavan.
What can
Or would it
I mean,
interfere with
I mean, you could do, but to actually go to Goloka, you have to have the association. You have to have the association of the residents of Goloka Vrindavan. So there's a good chance that you're not going to get that type of association in Vaikuntha.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking this statement, for far as I can understand, it must be referring to Namabas, bringing you then onto pure name.
Okay.
Yeah, because Ajamil didn't. I mean, Ajamil went to Vaikuntha actually. I mean, he didn't go to Goloka Vrindavan, but he went to Vaikuntha after chanting Sudanam. But he was introduced. He chanted Namabas, so that eventually manifest pure name. So I would say that's referring to that. Well, perhaps I can put this question out to some others as well. It says in Harinam Chintamani that Namabas, you can eternal residence in Vaikuntha, but we thought it was love. Either love inspired by awe and reverence takes you to Vaikuntha, or love as in the residence of Vrindavan. All right, perhaps we can all do this as homework for like next week's class. You can all study, try and find out. You can all ask your your spiritual masters and different Shiksha gurus. What does it mean? And we can come back and we can compare notes. And then yeah, it's just times up. So next week we're gonna. This is here is the 4 attitudes of Namabas. So just quickly, if one chants unintentionally, they're not. If Krishna's not in their mind, haram, terrible, terrible. If it's just in jest or ridicule, Ari, Saturday night Harinam, or it's derisively. What does that mean, derisively? Let me just. It means not with due respect, I think. Can you see this dictionary comes up on your screen?
No.
Okay, so derisively means expressing contempt or ridicule. Those Hare Krishnas are mad. Those Hare Krishnas are all on drugs. Those Hare Krishnas are lunatics. That person's getting, that's actually Namabas. Yeah, and it's, as Prabhupada would often praise news reports about the Hare Krishnas based on how many times Krishna was mentioned, even if it was completely running devotees into the ground, you know. If it had Krishna there many times, Prabhupada said, oh, very good. Because Namabas, Hela with disregard or neglect, and Sanketa. So we'll hear about that next week. Namabas. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. I hope this was very nice, isn't it? Studying about the holy name. This is our life and soul. So it's of interest, and we'll continue next week with chapter 3 about Namabas.
Did you mention about this hati curry? You asked the question from us. I can't remember whether did we speak about that hati curry.
Yeah, we spoke about that. It's where the syllables of Hari, there's a space between them.
Yeah. No, you asked us to tell some other examples.
That's okay. I was just thinking of names like Harry, like Harry Potter,
Harry Potter.
you know, Prince Harry, or Gorbachev, Goranga, like that, where the syllables somehow are in the language, are out there. That's
Yeah.
okay. But this is your homework for this. I'll give you a homework. This is we have to look into this section here. What I've highlighted.
Okay.
Okay, and find out what does it mean there. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a wonderful evening and look forward to our Krishna Katha tomorrow as well. Yeah, so
His
Thank
Grace
you.
Manohar Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.